Every life that you
Mhm.
see, whether it's a plant, tree, animal, bird, you and me, all of us are from the soil. Everything that we hold, including your cricket bat, is from the soil. From March 21st, we are asking everybody, people who have any kind of following, for 100 days just to talk about soil. So I'm 65, but I'm riding this 30,000
Y-
kilometers.
you're 65?
Yes.
You're a young man. You're a young man. Wow, I never actually ride a bike before. If I could, I just join you. I could join you on one of the legs. I'll sit on the back. Is that okay?
You can.
You're the hero. Sadhguru is the hero. Yeah, man.
That is
This is going to be amazing.
that is the first thing that we want to change the narrative in the world towards soil. And all these 192 countries, we are giving this soil document, which they can make use of in whichever way they want.